Shimla Deputation. Ever since its establishment in 1885 as a political organization, All India National Congress had been actively striving for the Hindu cause. It had ignored its aims and objectives, which said that the Congress would work for the protection of interests of all communities of India, irrespective of their religion and nationality. It, however, could not pursue this lofty principle of looking after the interests of all communities of India, and very soon indulged in purely pro-Hindu activities. It became clear by Congress designs that it was a forum meant to protect and project the Hindu demands only. The Hindu opposition to Urdu and partition of Bengal revealed it to the Muslims that the Hindu and Congress would never allow them a respectable place in the Indian society. The Hindu and Congress agitation intensified these feelings and aroused Muslim suspicions about Hindu designs. Then the rise of Hindu nationalism awakened Muslims' feelings of separate identity. The movement launched by Swami Dayanand and B.G. Tilak raised Muslims' eyebrows, which seriously pondered over their future plans to safeguard their interests. The success of Hindu and Congress agitation against Urdu and partition of Bengal proved to the Muslims that the government responded to the organized point of view. The political scene of India was affected with these events and particularly by the vigorous political activities of the Congress, which had no rival in the political arena. The Muslims believed that only an organized endeavor would lead them to success. Liberal Party of England had won the general elections under the leadership of George in 1905. It believed in giving adequate safeguard to the Indian people by introducing constitutional reforms. The Liberal Party announced that it would soon introduce constitutional reforms in India. The Muslim leaders decided to avail this opportunity in order to apprise the Viceroy of the Muslim demands. A delegation of prominent Muslim leaders from all over the country was formed under the leadership of Highness Sir Aga Khan. The Viceroy was vacationing at Simla. The Muslim leaders asked for the assistance of Mr. Archbold, the principal of Aligarh College, to get an appointment with the Viceroy. Mr. Archbold got in touch with the private secretary of the Viceroy, Dunlop Smith, and requested him to get an appointment with the Viceroy and inform Mr. Archbold. The Muslim delegation, comprising 35 Muslim leaders known as Shimla Deputation, called on Viceroy on 1st October 1906 at Simla. The deputation apprised the Viceroy of the Muslim demands. They expressed the need for the protection of the Muslims' interest if representative form of the government was to be introduced in India. The deputation expressed that the representation of the Muslims should be commensurate not merely with their numerical strength but also with their political importance and the value of contribution which the Muslims made to the defense of empire. Deputation asked for separate electorate through which the Muslims should elect their own representatives for municipalities, rural councils and provincial and central legislative councils. They demanded seats in legislature, quota in government services and seats of judges in the courts for the Muslims. Lord Minto gave a patient hearing to the demands of the Muslims presented by the similar deputation. Minto expressed his complete agreement with the principle of separate electorate. He promised to give sympathetic consideration to the demands and assured the deputation that he would do all what was possible to accept the demands. It was a great achievement of the similar deputation to have convinced the Viceroy about the genuineness of the Muslims' demands. The Muslims were now convinced that organized efforts were essential to press for the acceptance of the demands. The most important demand of separate electorate was accepted by the government and included in the Minto Morley reforms of 1909. At this time, the Muslims had left the Congress and had no political platform to project their demands. They badly needed a forum for the projection and safeguard of their interests to counter the false propaganda of the Congress. So some prominent Muslim leaders decided to set up a Muslim political party. In this regard, Muslim leaders set up a Muslim party which name was All India Muslim League.